Gary Nasai Minasan. Before I talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 24, I just want to share a little bit of my experience going to an anime convention today. It is really insane because this anime convention is not just your typical anime convention, but this anime convention actually have a corner, has a special dedication to celebrate the cosplay of Tokusatsu hero for Kamen Rider, and they actually have all the Heisei generation belt on display. I'm pretty sure they are not only showing the Heisei generation, but they are also showing the Reiwa generation Heisei belt. I wasn't paying close attention to the belt because I already know how the belts look like. Okay, I'm not gonna go there and like goggle my eye out. Oh, so this is how the belt actually looks like. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, but it is a really fun time going there. I don't actually talk to people there. I just browse around quietly. That is how I usually love how to go to an anime convention. I just browse as a silent pass-buyer, take some photos, take some videos, and that is pretty much my con experience. But I'm just gonna show a few photos here. The cosplayer here is really amazing, and we can really see what anime is tagging the stage right here. In every single time when you go to an anime convention, you know what are people actually watching. People are watching Chainsaw Man, people are watching no one is watching Genshin yet because Genshin anime is not released yet, but a lot of people are cosplaying as Genshin characters. So these two is like when you go, it's like you get a lot of, you either get Chainsaw Man or you get Genshin. Choose, okay, like choose. Like I don't see any Anya today, so there's no Spy Family, but there could be a return of Spy Family, like when season 3 came out. I don't know, but really amazing stuff. With that being said, I just want to talk about Kamen Rider Geats right now. Episode 24 is a really special episode because this is the turning point. This is the divergence episode that is gonna happen in the Kamen Rider Geats series, because it is gonna win from the Desire Grand Prix into the Jyamato Grand Prix. And let me tell you, JGP is very hard to pronounce. DGP is like, it rolls out of your tongue, so easy to talk. When you try to say JGP, it is very difficult. So from now on, I have to use their full name. I'm gonna call the Jyamato Grand Prix. So I believe this is a storytelling method that is quite similar to an anime. And the funny thing is like I just went to an anime convention, and now I'm saying that how Kamen Rider Geats storytelling is very similar to an anime. And this is not by any mere coincidence at all, because we know Yuya Takahashi really love his writing to be more like an anime. Even the action scene and all those stuff, it really looks like an anime. It really feels like this is how they are actually doing stuff and all those stuff. So Yuya Takahashi knows what he is doing, and he purposefully write the story to be in this manner. For the first half of the story to be about the DGP, and the second half of the story to be about the Jyamato. So at the end of the day, Jyamato might be the final villain that we're gonna have for our riders. But then again, at the same time, I just want to talk about the opening song that I actually realized. I remember the opening song where we actually get Sumori pointing the gun at as itself. We never actually think, like when we saw that scene in the opening song, we don't really understand what Yuya Takahashi have in plan for the story because of that scene. But now that we know, since the people of this world, the rider of these worlds already know what is happening, like where are they coming from and all those stuff, they had to reset the world and all those stuff. Does this mean by the end of the series, we are actually gonna see that in order for them to kind of leave this era, they are actually trying to get back their desire driver and all those stuff, and that is what causes a kind of like a face down between the DGP and the rider itself. Maybe how the story is gonna go, this is just a theory. Maybe the Jyamato Grand Prix is gonna win, the team Jyamato is gonna win, and the DGP decided to like F this shit, this timeline is not us to keep anyway, so sayonara, goodbye, I'm not gonna entertain you, I'm just gonna move away to a new timeline. But before that, I need to get back the driver from our rider itself. But because what happened in this episode, we saw that as Neon and Keiwa, three of them actually became a real rider. They are not only playing a game, but they actually go out there to save people because they can do it. They have the power to do it. And the three of them are starting to become a real rider, but they cannot protect people without the desired driver. So what happened is like when the DGP wants to get back the driver, but they are fighting back because like if you take away our driver, we cannot fight against the Jyamato and all those stuff. So maybe this is something that we are actually seeing how the plot is gonna progress, but I highly doubt it because the entire premise of the story is not about the player, it's not about the war that they are actually living in. The main premise of the story right now is about the goddess of creation. So they need to go. There has to be a reason on why Jyamato is attacking the war of as Neon and Keiwa. Like if maybe they are fighting for a new place to become their home base or something like that because of what Beroba did. Beroba actually destroyed the Jama garden, so maybe they need a new place to call home, and they just decide that F this shit. If DGP is not gonna protect this place, we're gonna take over this world and make it our home base, something like that. Maybe that's what is gonna happen, but it is really, really crazy. I really, really love it because this story, how it is going is so unpredictable. I'm honestly really, really glad that they actually introduced the Jyamato Grand Prix because I'm not gonna lie, if this third arc of the story, this third arc of the Kamen Rider Geats, if it is still the same story of who become the Dizashin and all the stuff without the introduction of the Disaster and all those stuff, I'm not gonna lie, it is actually kind of starting to feel a little bit repetitive. And now it became the Jyamato Grand Prix. Holy shit, all the excitement is back again. I am excited again to see where the story is gonna go, how the story is gonna go. But with that being said, I just want to mention something about what Kekara talked about in this episode. Kekara spoke about, like, I feel like he actually purposefully spoke about how they went from different generation, and two generation that he purposely point out is the Romans and the Sengoku era. So we know that Ukiyo-S actually holds a coin of Julius Caesar. I'm not so sure whether or not they still remember that plotline or not because we only saw that coin for 2 freaking episodes. First 2 episodes, and that's it. No more coin. We don't see him tossing the coin. We don't see him playing with the coin at all. No one talks to him about the coin. No one asks like, why are you carrying that coin around at all? So I don't know, man. Like, what are they trying to imply here? Okay, because if you really think about it, like, if they really, really, really want to make the story into something of kind of like a Westworld looking scenario, like all the AI, all the people in the war are being reused once again, like the model of the people are being reused in a different area war, in a different area people, and we are just seeing a kind of like the NPC using a different costume, playing different role, but secretly at the end of the day they are still the same person. Does this mean like if S is Julius Caesar, and does that mean that Neon is what was her name again, the queen of Egypt? Oh my god, I just have a name in my mind and I just lost it. Oh, Cleopatra. Like, does that mean that Neon is Cleopatra, and doesn't that mean that S and Neon are like kind of like a destined lover? Because if you read your history, you know that Julius Caesar and Cleopatra actually have a fling going on. But does that mean that S and Neon are gonna end up together? What about Keiwa? Who is Keiwa supposed to represent in the Roman era? I don't know. Okay, wait, I'm not sure how Keiwa fits into the story of the Romans. Maybe he's from the Sengoku era, because you know, like Kekera, there's a lot of ninja element, a lot of tanuki element involved in Keiwa backstory. So when they talk about the Sengoku era, this could actually where his character came from, something like that. So that is just a theory. Everything I said is just a theory. I just want to emphasize that again. But the reason why I even start to talk about the Romans and the Sengoku period is because of, like I said, as have the Julius Caesar's coin, and we need to remember they actually gave us quite a lot of information regarding how like they are from a different timeline, like they are capable of multiversal traversal, something like that. Multiversal traversal means they are able to move through time and different dimension as well, both at the same time. A little bit kind of like Kang the Conqueror if you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantum Mania. So you can understand what I'm trying to talk about here. So maybe they are able to move through different world using different, like across different time at the same time. So when they say they are from the future, they are not wrong, but they are not technically from the future of this world. They might be from the future of a different world, from different dimensions, something like that. So, and this is really, really interesting because my theory is maybe they're not really traveling across a multi-dimensional world, but instead they are just in a game, in a simulated world, something like that. Because Beroba did say something like how, like, Beroba says something really interesting. She says like one of the most beautiful thing about this world is that you are able to rebuild it however you want, no matter how much you destroy it. So these actually show us that there is a possibility that the war that they are actually living in right now is not actually the real world, but it is actually a virtual world or something like that. And that is why Beroba doesn't actually seems to give a shit about the people that is living in this world. It's not because she is evil, but she just want to have fun. She just want to be the one that actually write this alternated world, something like that. And another thing that really helped me to see a deeper possibility for this theory is what Kekera said in this episode when he introduced himself and in a human form. He says like, hey, I look pretty good as well, right? As using a human avatar. And when he said that, I was like, the fuck did you just say? When he said that he's using a human avatar, means that they actually have the capability to choose how they are presented in this world itself. So this would actually means that he might not actually be human at all in the first place. He might legit be a frog, or he might actually be something else. We are not sure. And where does he come from? We are not sure as well, because like if he's from a future timeline, a future world, a dimension where frogs became so evolved until a point where they are able to talk, and now he's joining the DGP. It is really, really insane, okay? But maybe that is the reason why Kyun and also Kekera doesn't show who they are and how they look like really in front of the rider itself, because the handsome guy we see here, Kyun, might not actually be a human, okay? Like the human form we saw of Kyun might not be him actually. It might be someone else. It might be just a body, a created avatar, something like that. And this is further kind of like realized in my mind after their henshin, because this is the episode where we actually get to see Kekera and Kyun became the rider that they are, and we actually get to see that Kekera become a frog and Kyun become a kind of like a flying tiger, a Pegasus, not a Pegasus, not a, what was the word that I'm looking for? A griffin. It's not really like a griffin as well, but like, you know, like a flying lion, or like a chimera if you want to call it. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because when I read on TV Asahi, the user of the Lazarus Riser is able to select how they are gonna look like once they become the rider itself, and most of the people would actually set it into their most comfortable and most confident form to fight an enemy. So this would actually mean that maybe Beroba was a giant, like she is a frost giant or something like that. We don't know what is the story behind, what is the inspiration behind all of this, and and maybe Kekira is legit a frog, and Kyun is legit a lion. Okay, this is all of this is possible, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but if this happens to be true, it's gonna be really, really amazing. But I just felt like, like it could be done. Okay, it could be done. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But with that being said, I just want to end the video by talking about the possibility of Kamen Rider game being a part of the DGP as well. And I feel like a lot of people will actually say that it might actually be related because how the Helheim forest actually looks so similar to the Jama garden itself, how the landscape and all those stuff. Like even the idea of suddenly a group of people in a city, all of them actually start to have the Sengoku driver and all those stuff. It's like it just seems too good to be real or something like that. Like just because they find out about the Helheim forest and suddenly out of nowhere they are able to create the technology to utilize them seems a little bit too good to be true. Okay, so if Kamen Rider game turns out to be a prequel to the DGP, if it is gonna be so meta. It is gonna be so meta for Yuya Takahashi to be like, hey, this is not the first time Kamen Rider is DGP involved in the Kamen Rider world itself. It is gonna break the internet. It is gonna break the freaking internet, I tell you. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy what you see here about Kamen Rider Geats episode 24. Next week it is gonna be really, really insane, really, really lit. But if you made it this far into the video, I just wanna ask you to comment the word henshin in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the video. It is my greatest joy and honor for you to be able to finish the video, because it means that my video is, at least it is palatable enough for you to finish it. That is all. Hope you enjoy. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.